Hey guys, my name is Joe Hamilton and welcome to my channel. Now I'm sure like most of you I wanted to leave this problem in 2019, but as is the way with the internet, it's continuing into 2020 like the Black Plague, and this is the issue of fake guitar playing on social media. Now I'm not here to call people out or really even discuss the issue itself and the ethics of it, but I wanted to try and clear up an issue I've been seeing on Instagram, Facebook, and really all over all different types of social media. And that's the issue of people accusing musicians of being fake when they're not. Now, I'm not ignorant to the fact that some people do speed up their videos and put it on social media, and I'll be the first one to tell you that when I make music for my videos, I do comp together takes, because honestly I just suck at guitar. I've actually got a video coming up where I fully comp a bass run every 2 notes just to make it sound good. Keep an eye out for that video. But I digress. What I want to talk about today is how the settings used when filming a video can sometimes create a stuttery or juttery effect that people have come to learn to associate with sped up videos. So just because a video looks juttery or unnatural doesn't actually mean it's sped up or manipulated in any way. First thing we have to do is understand a couple of terms. The first is FPS, or frames per second. As you probably know, when a video is captured, it's actually just being captured via a series of still images or frames. Think about the old school film cameras with the reels of film. Each one of those negatives is a frame. FPS is, put simply, just the amount of frames or images a video camera is capturing every second to put together to create a video. The more frames per second, the smoother the video looks. The most common frames per second speeds used are 24 or 25, 30, and 60. People like the slow-mo guys have really expensive cameras which can shoot up to hundreds of thousands of frames per second, which is how they achieve such slow motion video. The second term we need to understand is shutter speed. This term is referring to the amount of time or speed that a camera's shutter is open and capturing light per frame. You'll be familiar with this manipulated in still photography with what they call long exposure photography. Here are some examples of that, just to give you an idea. This really is just where the camera's shutter is held open for really long periods of time to capture the movement of lights. Shutter speed is the exact same idea, but just the amount of time the shutter is open for each frame or image the camera is capturing whilst videoing. But how does this all affect video footage? Basically, the shorter the shutter speed is, the shorter the frame is exposed for, the less movement there is captured per frame, the less motion blur there is. Here's a single frame taken from a video with a slow shutter speed. And here's a single frame taken from a video with a fast shutter speed. See how the one from the fast shutter speed video has far less motion blur than the video that was captured using a slow shutter speed. When video is captured with a fast shutter speed, which means less motion blur, this creates a kind of manic and sometimes stuttery effect that people actually harness and use in filmmaking as an effect that's often seen in action films. Here's a couple of examples.
What a day! What a lovely day!
Notice in that footage how it just seems really intense and fast-paced and stuttery and kind of unnatural, but that gives the footage a real intensity that you can use to your advantage. Now, let's talk about what actually happens to some video footage when you speed it up in post-production. Let's say you've opened an Adobe Premiere session and you have the timeline set to 30 frames a second, or 30 FPS. If you import a 2-second video clip into that project and you want to shorten it so it only lasts 1 second, you can't shorten the frames, so the only thing you can do is take frames out. Imagine you've got a 20 centimeter piece of wood and you want to make that piece of wood 10 centimeters. I'm going to cut it up into 1 centimeter slices and then take out every second slice. You push the wood together and now you've got a 10 centimeter piece of wood. This is essentially what video editing software does when you speed up a section of footage. But yeah, I know videos have got nothing to do with the only thing that we can actually plant and use to reverse global warming. But when you zoom in and look at the grain of this wood now, you can see at every slice, the grain no longer now matches up perfectly. This is why videos that have been sped up look unnatural and jumpy. The video editing software has essentially taken every second frame out and pushed it together, making the distance traveled between each frame greater. But what on earth does any of this have to do with guitar players speeding up their footage and putting it on Instagram? Well, the key here is recognizing that both of these processes actually increases the distance moved between each frame. So now we understand that whilst a video may look unnatural and weird, it doesn't actually necessarily mean that it's been sped up or manipulated in any way. But then why do some videos look different to others? Well, as I said earlier, if a video is shot on a camera where you can change these individual settings, people can harness and change those settings to create specific effects, such as a more intense and stuttery video. I know of some guitarists personally who do upload to Instagram and other social medias that do this because it creates a really cool intensity to their footage that they find more engaging and more exciting to watch. But also sometimes, it just happens. Many online guitarists just post videos straight from their smartphones, and most smartphones you can't actually go in and change the individual settings for your video capture. And some smartphones, in an effort to make a crisp video, try and reduce the motion blur by having a faster shutter speed. Here's an example of someone putting an iPhone 4 inside their acoustic guitar and having the camera face out through the porthole. You can see how the strings look all noodly and weird, like oscillating audio waves. This is actually because the shutter speed of the camera is fast enough to pick up those individual snapshots of the string vibrating. A stuttering effect to your videos can also happen by, say, you capture a video at 60 frames a second. If you upload that to Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, those websites might then take that footage and encode it and upload it at different frames per second. And if those don't perfectly half or divide in an equal manner, that can really fuck up your footage and make it look stuttery and bizarre. And of course, that's not intentional by the creator, and nor is it really their fault. So, I'm sorry about that rant. I hope it was followable and I hope you've learned something. So next time you see a video online that looks maybe weird or juttery, just take a second to think about the setup, the guitarist, maybe do a bit of research before calling them out. Or follow my advice and don't call them out, because talking shit online just makes you look like a bitch. Well, that's all for this video. Please share this video and spread the knowledge and the learning. As I said at the beginning, my name is Joe Hamilton. Please check out the rest of my videos and subscribe if you enjoy them. I'll see you soon, and don't forget to love each other.